Hi, Tom. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Nick. It's great to be here.
It's been a long time, and we're happy to have you back. I think you were on the show maybe 20-something years ago.
I think I was too.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
You look great.
You look the same. You look even more dapper, I must say. So what does it feel like to be able to walk into a party anywhere and say, I'm Tom? You know, Tom's of Maine. That's me.
Well, I prefer to go incognito.
Yeah.
And,
Good luck with that. Yeah.
But coming in tonight, a charming woman said, smiling at me, I've been using your products ever since I can remember. And I said, thank you, so have I.
There's a joke in there, but it's a New England joke. I want to mention that you know, we talked about your decision to go to divinity school. And I remember when you graduated, and it was an unlikely credential for a CEO to seek in those days. Why did you do that? Why did you go for that?
I think at the time I was looking for some kind of clarity to my life, where I was headed. And when you're running a business and building it, you know, it really turns into a rigorous numbers game, and you can lose yourself in the numbers. And I was feeling a loss of the creative energy. We were performing very well, but I was kind of closing down inside. So I talked to people that knew me well, and I just happened upon this opportunity to visit Harvard Divinity School, and it just clicked. I had the opportunity there to study really religious philosophy. I wasn't interested in going into the church ministry per se, but I was interested in learning about the traditions, the faith traditions of the world. So that's pretty much what I did, and I took that back into the business world and used the marketplace as my ministry.
Yeah. Did you make any decisions at Tom's of Maine based on your study of theology that were terrible business decisions?
I don't think there was one. I think everything that I brought from my learnings there, you know, things like 10% of your profits, 5% of people's paid time for volunteerism, just nurturing people to help them become better at their jobs. Everything was really about goodness, and there's nothing wrong with integrating goodness with performance.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that and setting an example, because so many people were paying attention to what you were doing and how you were doing it. So you really were kind of a pioneer in that way. And now you've shifted your focus from dental care and Tom's of Maine's products to a new area, which is more about sustainable fabric and clothing. Tell me how you made that leap, that transition.
I mean, after working so hard for 40 years, I decided that just philanthropy was not enough for me. I needed to be creative and build something again. And I thought about the industries that needed a change. The textile and garment industries are the second major polluters on this globe. And I grew up in the textile business, so I thought, well, why don't I see if my family would be interested in taking that on? So today we have a wonderful leadership team. We are making beautiful products, and we have the only organic wool clothing company in America. And you know, we're setting an example again, as we did before.
So you're doing the same thing. You're using the business community and your values
Yes.
to try to influence, you know, a global issue. And so along the way, it's kind of hard to say, look at how horrible the fabric and the clothing industry is when it comes to environmental impact and sourcing of materials and use of chemical dyes and waste and impact on people's lives. And then, you know, the obvious next step is, look how cool we are. So is it do you lose credibility when you sort of represent an alternative?
Well, I think you become a power of example. For constantly we find ourselves living our values, such as premium quality or sustainability. When you follow those values, you make certain choices and you don't care what competition is doing.
Right.
So competition is all over there, stuck together, sailing their way, and you're all alone on a different tack, and yet you're getting to where you want to be, and then they're wondering, how did you get there?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it's like being out front a little bit.
Yeah.
By the way, I know we're on radio, but are you wearing any of your products?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay.
I came prepared.
Yeah. So this sport coat that's got a sort of a subtle plaid to it.
We have in this, what is it, 80 degrees here. I have my wool, a long sleeve wool next to skin shirt underneath my my linen shirt and my linen slacks and pants. Yes.
Okay, so it's 100% outfit. Okay. Wow, Tom.
Well, my underpants are also made of wool.
Okay. And if you go to our website, we'll show you those too. That's remarkable. And so you're doing the whole thing again. So you got your family involved.
Yeah,
You've got
the kids are great. They really know
Yeah.
what they're doing, and we've got a great team. We've learned how to do it, and now we're just driving it, and it's really fun.
And
really.
and when you say you're the only organic wool manufacturer in the United States, tell us a little bit about the industry. So where does the wool come from?
Well, back in the 50s, America gave up its heritage in textiles, and it went offshore. And so we sold all our equipment, we lost our skills, seamstresses no longer trained the next generation. So when you try to bring that all back here, it's really hard, and it's a slow process building that supply chain. But they're here, and we're able to do that. When it comes to sustainability, you're really thinking about clothing altogether differently, how long you wear it, how durable it is, how was it produced, were a lot of chemicals, what were the fields like that the sheep were grazing in. Organic wool is a total exercise in premium quality. It's separately produced from any commodity. Mm-hmm. But you get something that is extraordinarily strong, clean, long-lasting, and it's what sustainability is.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool that, again, you're using your values and you're sort of inserting them into the business community to try to tell a story. I think that there are, as you saw from the early days of the natural products industry, people were out front just saying, hey, look, you should try this. It's called tofu, or whatever it was. And everybody was like, whoa, that's weird. And pretty soon it's a multi-billion-dollar thing. Yeah. Well, Tom, I really appreciate you coming by and visiting eTown again. I think it's great, again, that you're launching a new enterprise with your values leading the way. I appreciate your perspective on just, again, being a little bit ahead of the rest of us in terms of dealing with this sort of new political paradigm we find ourselves in. And I wish you a lot of luck with your new enterprise.
Thank you.
It's
good
called,
to be back.
It's called Rambler's Way, is that right?
Rambler's Way, yes.
And there's information online if people want to check it
Rambler's
out.
Way.
Rambler's Way. Tom Chappell, co-founder of Tom's of Maine, a righteous business leader. So happy to have him back in our midst. Thanks for being with us, Tom.